All right, so I'm just gonna show you a little bit of what we got here. We're gonna start cleaning a lot of this up back here. I gotta find these peach trees. We got some peach trees back here. We're trying to get ready and set up for homesteading. My goal, what I really would like to do is I want to be able to sell some fruit. Thinking about maybe doing like a U-pick garden. I got another guy, Danny's uncle, I got to talk to about maybe getting some bees, possibly getting into making honey and selling that. We're definitely working on apples. We're working on muscadines and muscadines right now. There's so many wild out here that it's really not worth me buying any. I just need to clean these areas up to where we can just harvest these, because there's just so many of them. They're all over the property. I haven't even checked Mike's land yet. I'm gonna go check over there too sometime. Now here's just one muscadine vine here. They're loaded. They're not quite ready yet. But I want to get in here and clean all this up, and they're all the way down to wood vines on both sides, all the way around the property. But we're gonna get in here and we're gonna show you the chickens. I got a little bit more work. So we haven't been working on this book for about 2 months. In 2 months, we got chickens set up. We got the sheep set up. And we stalled them up every night. There's a lot of coyotes out here, but I also wanted poop especially for like my fruit trees. I believe I could be wrong about this, but I believe sheep and rabbit poop have phosphorus, which is good for fruits. And then the chickens would be, nitrogen for greens. We've got all of that set up very well in here, what I'm gonna do. And like, I could cheap out on this, but like, our goal is to get where we don't have to work and we can just straight up homestead. And I'm not planning on working for a while. Anyways, to get that set up. So what we do is, instead of using county water, we're gonna golf cart set up with this, and we'll just go down to the creek and fill it up. Try to put some good water on everything. I don't want to cheap out on nothing. I don't want to cut corners, and I don't want to be lazy. I'm not doing it anyways. If I could take a little bit extra time to water my plants and stuff, so be it. We'll show you later on. I really don't want to do it yet because my planter, I just planted seed. I got some coming up in buckets and trays, but like, I'm trying to eliminate the buckets and trays just because it's kind of cluttered looking. We built a planter on the side of our rabbit garden. My rabbit pen, kind of just so it'd be off the ground so grandma could come look at it and whenever they start growing. But it's a lot neater. It's a lot cleaner looking, and we can plant a lot more stuff in it. I'll show you the garden too. So what we did with the garden was kind of cool. There's a lot of red clay out here. And what we did was, instead of building a raised bed, we dug a raised bed. We went 1.5 feet deep. We took about 4 inches of sawdust laid at the bottom. We got this really good soil that comes from Blackville, South Carolina, Humble Acres. It's a chicken poop compost. I don't know what all's in it, but it's really good stuff. It's amazing stuff. And we put about 1 foot or so of that in there deep. And then we come back across the top of that and did another 2 inches of sawdust. So we don't have to water it. During droughts and stuff, it stays moist. You do not have to water it. You do not have to water it whatsoever. As far as, it would have to be like a serious drought. But even if we did have to water it, that's kind of the perks of having the creek. I need to fix this faucet. Speak it on the sign to see this or not. There we go. All right, so let me get. I'm not used to doing this with one hand. Let's see. I'll just take the whole bag. I gotta get her another bucket. I took all my buckets and drilled holes in the bottom of them for planting stuff. I'm gonna end up repurposing them anyways. So the goal with the chickens is to let them free range. But right now I've only got 5 chickens because we're starting over. We completely started over. Everything we worked on in Leesville, we had to restart. So, but the goal with the chickens is to, once they get out of molt here, I've been feeding them some red pepper, trying to get them to come out of molt, and it seems to be working. I gotta kind of do it every day. And it has been pulling them out of molt. They've been laying eggs during their molting season, which is kind of funny. Danny told me that one. And but the overall goal is, once they come out of molt and start laying, I want to fire the incubator up, and I want to get about 50 chickens. And we're gonna lock. They're gonna be crammed. They're gonna be very crammed in there, but they won't be in there but for a couple of days. They are trained to go. I mean, they've been in this coop for months. So what I'm planning on doing is, once we get some biddies hatched and some pullets going, we'll stick the pullets in there with them for 5 days or so. If I got to warm them, so what, you know, it'd be all right. And then we'll just take the door off and let them free range. And I'm gonna take all those buckets I was talking about repurposing, and we'll take the buckets and we'll line them up down here and just make several different laying nests for them. I'm sure 50 chickens, we'll have enough of them lay in the boxes down here that we'll be able to get some eggs. So, but what we did with the buckets, I thought this was kind of neat. It works. It doesn't keep all of it in. We just took buckets and drilled holes in it so they can't poop in it, because they are in tight quarters, and I don't want them eating on the ground much. But I mean, you can obviously see there's food spilled in there, but it does do pretty good. Most of the time they stick their head in the bucket and eat the food, and it keeps them from pooping on the feed. But I did their water the same way. They're probably due for water. I think I actually just gave them some water yesterday. But what I really want to show you in this coop is, now I know it's because of the chickens and stuff, but this soil, the soil in this coop is beautiful. Now every time I've ever had a coop, we did it in the sun, and you know, it turns everything into just dust. But doing it down here, there was already really good soil back here in this creek, and it's just, that's what's in that coop. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to keep adding wood chips and like hay and stuff in here, and just the next time I need soil, come get it from this coop. And if it ain't enough, I'm gonna get it from this creek, because like all through this creek, all these leaves and stuff, there's earthworms everywhere down here, which is kind of why I put the chickens down here, because aside from the worms, aside from grasshoppers, there's a ton of grasshoppers out here. Go there. There's a ton of grasshoppers out here, and just figure once we start free ranging between the worms at the creek, the grasshoppers on the hill, and everything else, I shouldn't have to feed them other than in the winter time. And that's kind of my goal here, is to get to where all I have to do is feed them a little bit in the winter time, and once we get to that point, I'll go stack up on some feed, and we'll go from there. But so with the chickens, what we got is, we've got silver lace wyandotte, Australorp, and there's a red, where's she go? There's a red lace blue wyandotte in there too. I guess she went back in the coop. I ain't even thinking about sucking the eggs. Because they hadn't been laying. There wasn't no eggs in here yesterday. They've been like laying kind of like sporadically, just occasional with the molting. Like I said, I got to start back on the red pepper. There wasn't no eggs in there. And I know what you're thinking. That looks a little tight. Yeah, it was a little tight. I can come back and add a bigger door later on. I'm just gonna leave that feed down here. It ain't but a little bit left of that anyways. So now what we can do is walk up here. And so I got to do some work down here too. So what I want to do is put a bridge across here that we can drive like the golf carts and stuff on. But like I can't even really get the golf cart down here, so I got to do a little bit of work on the entrance there. And we'll go from there whenever that time comes. But so that's the chickens. The sheep, with the sheep we've got Katahdin and we got Barbados black belly. And honestly, I'm not really trying to sell sheep. What I'm trying to do with the sheep is I'm trying to eliminate my hamburger bill. And with the Barbados black bellies, I just like them. They're pretty. They look like, I mean, they're pretty. And they're just pretty sheep, and they're a little bit smaller. And like honestly, like we don't need 200 pounds of Katahdin meat at a time. I would like to keep them, if I could keep them between 150 and 180, that would be ideal, because there's roughly 13 acres out here, but it's all on a hill, so you get a little bit more than what the actual survey shows. Probably not much more, but there's so much grass out here. We've got coastal on this side, tall fescue on the other pasture, and we've got 9 sheep up there right now, and they haven't even gone to the other pasture but maybe twice. There was we had 3 horses out here. They couldn't eat it all. Talking with Tommy, you basically figure 6 sheep per horse. So, I mean, we ain't got but 9 sheep. I ought to be able to have 20 sheep out here, no problem. And with the sheep, the Katahdins, they are all between 3 and 6 years old. They were all proven twins whenever we got them this year. My 2 Barbados, one of them's proven with twins. The other one is only got 1, but they are also only 2 years old. So, something could happen with the one that had an only child. She could have twins, so she just needs to go around. And honestly, like the crossbreed between the Barbados and the Katahdin, it's really pretty. It's just a really pretty sheep. That's kind of why we got that mix. I wanted a meat sheep, but I wanted something like my wife and the kids are like, so we wanted to add some color in there and kind of make them pretty. Get some like painted up ones or something. And but that's what we got with that. And I did a video of the apple trees. We got the apple trees out there, and I've already watered them today. I won't water them again for until next week. Unless it rains, then I won't water them at all. The goal, I'm gonna start working on some vineyard lines, and I wanted to get a red grape, then a Concord grape, and maybe even a wine grape, like a Pinot or something like that. I don't know how you say that stuff. What's the one there was one I was looking at that I was like, man, that's a cool looking grape. It just looked cool. I got no idea what it tastes like. I just want to try it. Zinfandel. It's a Zinfandel wine grape. And we're not gonna make wine. I just wanted to try them. They were a little bit cheaper. We'll try it and check it out. What else we got? Went over the scopadines and muscadines. I'm gonna do another video of that in a little bit. Because because we're gonna ride